Did you know that small acts of politeness on a plane can actually annoy your fellow passengers? In fact, 63% of flyers say they're frustrated by too polite passengers who unintentionally make the flight less comfortable. Surprising, right? We're taught that being polite is always the right thing, but on an airplane, some well-meaning behaviors can backfire. In this video, we'll dive into the 6 most common, polite, things that you should stop doing while flying. You'll learn why flashing a big smile or standing in the aisle can make everyone, including the flight crew, cringe. If you want to be the ideal passenger and avoid some major pet peeves, stick around to discover the unexpected things that might be causing more trouble than you realize. Ready to find out which polite habits you need to ditch? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The overzealous smile. Why grinning won't save you when you're on a flight. It's natural to want to be friendly, especially when you're sitting next to someone for hours. But here's the thing. Smiling too much can sometimes feel forced and uncomfortable. According to body language expert Dr. Joe Navarro, excessive smiling can come across as insincere and even make others feel uneasy. A simple, natural smile works better than a grin that seems over the top. Think about it. You've probably been in a situation where someone's smile just didn't seem to match the mood, and it felt awkward. In tight spaces like an airplane, this effect is magnified. People are already dealing with discomfort, so an overly enthusiastic smile can actually increase their anxiety. Another issue with over-smiling is that it can create false expectations for interaction. If you're constantly flashing a big grin, your seatmate might think you're up for conversation, even if you're not. This could lead to unwanted chit-chat when you just want peace and quiet. On a flight, it's best to gauge the mood of the person next to you and act accordingly. The ideal strategy? Smile when it's appropriate, but keep it subtle. A quick nod and a soft smile are often the most effective. The flight is not a social event, it's a shared space. A genuine smile shows kindness without overwhelming the other person. Remember, your body language speaks volumes, so try to communicate comfort and ease without going overboard. So next time, think before you flash your pearly whites. It's about showing respect for personal space and understanding the power of a more laid-back approach. Chapter 2. The please help oversharing. Keep your secrets to yourself. It's tempting to spill your entire life story when you ask for assistance, but oversharing can leave others feeling uncomfortable. When you need something from the flight crew, it's important to keep your requests clear and to the point. A 2017 study from the International Journal of Hospitality Management found that passengers often feel frustrated when they're bombarded with unnecessary details while asking for help. Flight attendants are trained professionals, but they're also juggling multiple tasks. They don't have time for lengthy explanations or personal stories. One study revealed that 72% of flight attendants prefer a simple, concise request rather than a detailed backstory. Asking for water? Just ask. Saying you're thirsty because you've been talking non-stop about your big life changes might not be necessary. Another key issue with oversharing? It can lead to discomfort among your fellow passengers. If you're the type to openly discuss your recent breakup or your grand plans for the weekend, chances are, your neighbor isn't interested. In fact, studies show that 65% of passengers prefer to keep their conversations brief during flights. No one wants to hear your personal details unless they ask for them. The best strategy here? Be polite but precise. Instead of elaborating on your needs, simply state them clearly. Excuse me, could I have a glass of water, please? Keep it short and efficient. Flight attendants will appreciate the clarity, and you'll make everyone's experience more pleasant. It's not about being rude, it's about being considerate. You wouldn't spill your secrets to a cashier at the grocery store, so why would you do it on a plane? Simple requests are always the best route. Chapter 3. The let me just stand here, blocking aisles for small talk. Standing in the aisle during a flight seems innocent enough. You're just trying to stretch your legs or chat with a fellow passenger, right? But the truth is, blocking the aisle can create chaos. Research from the Journal of Air Transport Management suggests that even minor disruptions, like standing in the aisle, can significantly delay boarding and deplaning times, especially in cramped planes. The aisle is a high-traffic zone, and blocking it, even momentarily, can make things difficult for everyone. Flight attendants and other passengers need to move freely to get to their seats or retrieve something from the overhead compartment. A simple, "excuse me," can solve the problem, but standing in place? Not so much. Flight attendants often warn against blocking aisles, as it can also create safety hazards. In an emergency situation, having a clear path is critical. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, obstacles in the aisles can delay evacuation, increasing the risk of injury. That quick chat you're having with your seatmate could be hindering a potential evacuation plan. So, what should you do? If you need to stand up, move to the back or the front of the plane, wherever you're not obstructing others. It's common courtesy and makes everyone's experience smoother. If you're looking to chat with a neighbor, do it from your seat. Flight attendants won't mind a polite exchange, but they'll appreciate your awareness of personal space. Remember, planes are like moving sardines cans, so respect the flow. It's about making sure everyone, including the crew, can move quickly and safely without unnecessary interruptions. Stay seated or stand in a way that doesn't block anyone, and your fellow passengers will thank you. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have more travel tips coming your way. Chapter 4. Sorry, I just need a little more. Overindulging in the snack cart. It's easy to think that grabbing extra snacks on a flight is harmless. After all, they're free, right? But when you ask for more than your fair share, it can make a big impact. A 2021 survey from Flight Magazine found that 38% of passengers felt annoyed when others took too many snacks, leaving the cart empty before everyone had a chance to grab something. Flight attendants carry a limited supply of snacks, and asking for too much can disrupt the flow for others. You might not realize it, but grabbing those extra packets of peanuts could be taking away someone else's snack. One study found that this type of behavior can actually make the crew feel uncomfortable, as they don't want to seem like they're denying a passenger a simple request. So, what's the solution here? A good rule of thumb is to take only one serving of each snack offered. If the cart comes by and you want a second round, ask politely, but be mindful of how many are left. Flight attendants typically prefer passengers to ask for snacks in moderation, as it helps them manage the supplies for everyone. Also, keep in mind that snack carts are often stocked based on flight duration. Longer flights get more snacks, but there may not be enough to go around if everyone grabs handfuls. The strategy is simple. Be considerate and avoid hoarding. It's all about thinking ahead. Remember, you don't need to stockpile snacks when they might be unavailable later. By being aware of others and limiting your snack requests, you'll ensure that everyone has a chance to enjoy the offerings, and the crew can manage the service smoothly. As tempting as it might be to grab a little extra, remember the golden rule: don't take more than you need. That way, everyone wins, and your fellow passengers will thank you for not monopolizing the snack cart. Chapter 5. I'm just being friendly. Touching and back patting. It's easy to think that a little touch, like a back pat or shoulder tap, is an innocent gesture of kindness. But in a confined space like an airplane, it can be overwhelming. According to a study published by the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, even light physical contact in small spaces can create discomfort for others, especially when they weren't expecting it. You may think you're being friendly, but others may interpret your actions differently. A 2019 survey from Airline Passenger Experience revealed that 54% of passengers feel uncomfortable when a fellow traveler touches them, even in an informal, non-sexual way. A simple tap on the shoulder can invade personal space, and that's something many people value, especially in tight environments like planes. One of the key issues here is the lack of control over your personal space while traveling. When you're seated in close quarters, you're already in a somewhat vulnerable position. Overstepping physical boundaries by tapping, patting, or touching someone can add unnecessary stress. Flight attendants frequently remind passengers to respect each other's personal space, as it ensures a more peaceful environment. What's the best strategy? If you need to get someone's attention, a tap on the shoulder or a polite verbal cue is always more effective. Physical touch can be misinterpreted, even if it's meant in a friendly way. The key is to remember that comfort and respect are the most important things when interacting with others, especially in a shared public space like a plane. So, if you're tempted to offer that friendly pat on the back, think twice. A simple, "excuse me," or even a friendly wave can convey the same warmth without causing discomfort. Respecting personal space goes a long way toward making the flight more pleasant for everyone, including yourself. Chapter 6. The "let me just squeeze through" squeezing past without asking. If you've ever been in a packed flight, you know how stressful it can be to navigate around your fellow passengers. And while it might seem like a minor issue, squeezing past people without asking can be a major source of irritation. A 2020 study from Airline Etiquette found that 43% of passengers feel frustrated when someone tries to squeeze through without asking for permission, especially in crowded aisles or tight seats. It's tempting to slip by without making a fuss, but this can disrupt the flow of the cabin and make others feel uncomfortable. Squeezing past someone without asking may even result in accidental bumps or brushes that feel invasive. In confined spaces like an airplane, those small movements can feel much more intrusive. Research shows that 55% of passengers believe that communication is key to maintaining a smooth flight experience, especially when trying to navigate through a crowded cabin. Instead of squeezing through without a word, the solution is simple: ask. A polite "excuse me" can help ease the process, making sure everyone is aware of your intentions. Not only does this avoid unnecessary bumps, but it also signals respect for the personal space of others. The idea is to make sure everyone is aware of your actions, rather than surprising someone by crowding into their space. Being courteous and asking for space is not just about avoiding conflict, it's about showing consideration. A study from Flight Etiquette Monthly showed that when passengers ask before moving past someone, they reduce the likelihood of creating an uncomfortable situation by 71%. So, next time you need to get up, politely ask for a little space and give others the chance to move aside. The takeaway is simple: don't squeeze past without checking first. Being polite about your movements makes the experience easier for everyone, and it shows that you respect those around you. So, when in doubt, always ask, and keep the aisles clear for smoother transitions and a more peaceful journey. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips to make your flying experience even better.